Hello everyone, so today I'm going over the other side land drop and kind of the drama that was happening on Saturday, and I'm also going to be claiming my land. Right, so I'm here at the website. It's called the other side XYZ. The link will be on the description. So let's just go over the trailer real quick. I'll remove the sound just in case. So overall, if they will be able to do like the metaverse just like it looks in the video, or if they can make a video game that looks like this, that would be pretty cool. So we have all the projects that will be able to participate on these other side metaverse. And we have the coda over there. Okay. All right. So let's just keep going. Let's see. All right. So we have some examples of what the land NFT looks like. Let's see. So they calling it the Otherdeeds. 10% distributed to Bored Apes, 20% to mutants, 15% to developers, and 55% to adventurers. So this is for people who minted on Saturday with using ApeCoin. And this is for these tiers of land: Rainbow Atom, Atmos, Cosmic Dream, and Infinite Expanse. The Bored Apes get Bionic Swamp supposedly, so I'm gonna see that once I claim. Okay. Says bring your own character to the other side, so you will be able to bring all these NFTs. Alright, let's click on the world because it has more information here. So, real quick, we have 5 tiers, 1 through 5. The highest tier, number 5, will be kind of the best tier, which is the Bionic Swamp. Then we have the Chemical Goo, which references the mutant apes. And we have these older lands here. This one, this example here has a coda, this one as well. And the Infinite Expanse, the lowest tier. It says visitors from far away. This is the coda NFT. There are 10,000 of them, and they are distributed through all the lands. So if you minted or if you claim land, you might be able to get one of these on your land, which will increase the value of your Otherdeed. Then we have the the natural materials. So every piece of land in the other side nurtures up to 4 replenishing resources. So these are the 4 resources. We have research, metal, stone, and wood. Okay. We also have treasures and tools. It says scattered throughout the lands of other side are rare objects, some of which cannot be crafted by any other means. So I guess if you get an artifact or resource that cannot be crafted, that will be a very rare item, which would increase the value of your deed to collectors. And here we have examples of resources and items that you can find on your land. This one is pretty interesting. That's the one Curtis on the video drinks. Dynamic NFTs. So every other deed is dynamic. Is a dynamic NFT built as a collection of all its elements. All right, so they're saying that it's dynamic because it has all these elements. They have the dirt of the land, the sediments, they have the quotas, they have the artifacts, the resources, the tier rarities, right? So they have all these elements that it makes it a dynamic NFT. Says shape the future. Your other deed is your key to helping build the metaverse. All right, so right now the public mint already happened on April 30th. Right now you can click here to go to OpenSea and buy on the secondary market. Floor price currently at 3.58 Ethereum. And you can also claim, if you have a Bored Ape or a Mutant, you can claim land for free. You just have to pay the gas fee, which is what I'm gonna do right now, because I was looking at the gas prices and they're pretty low. Before I do that, let me go over what kind of the drama that was going around on the day of the drop. So let's start with this tweet by Vendor. If you're not on Twitter, you need to get on Twitter and you need to start following the right people. Other side drop is shaping up to be dangerous. The entire TL is preparing for war. Countless tweets about how many blocks it will take to mint. People calculating their first transaction to avoid getting gassed out late. This isn't the way to drop. The drop should be happening could be very ugly. What it means. So if you've been on the NFT space for a while, you know that if there's a NFT dropping that it's pretty hyped up, usually the gas fees go very high. There's like a gas war where people will be paying $2,000 or even more just in transaction fees. Why? Because the more you pay, the faster the miners will process your transaction. That's kind of the way it goes. So what I mean when I'm saying that you should be following the right people is there were signs that this thing was about to happen, like the high transaction fees. And even if you don't know much about the Ethereum network, if you're following the right people, you could have been aware of it. So this dude here is talking about Moonbeard's holder is going to be absolutely shook that I'm saying something negative about this job after this tweet. Okay. Alright, so I just had this tweet just to show you that there were people telling you that there was gonna be a lot of expenses with the transactions. Then I have this other tweet right here from Mooncat2878. So he says, so I haven't been talking about the other side meta and Yuga Labs. I wanted to share some interesting things I came across on Twitter. Let's look at it. Let's look at a small summary of events. So there were $100 million spent just on gas fees, because there were some people who paid like $3,000, $5,000 just on transactions, and there were other people who spent like a lot of money as well, like $1,000, about that range, and their transaction failed, so they didn't get to claim their other side deed, and they just spent gas. So here he says, so let's start with the most devastating piece of it all. The contract, Yuga Labs had zero gas optimizations, which led to a huge gas war and means a lot of people and the whole ecosystem lost over 30K in ETH. So that's $100 million. So what I don't understand is how involved Yuga Labs is in this project, because the the other projects they had, I mean, the claiming of the Kennel Club and the claiming of the serums, I think it was pretty smooth. But I don't know if that's because it was just claiming, and you could only claim if you had a Bored Ape. There wasn't like a open to the public thing. Maybe that's why this drop was different, and obviously there was a gas war. It's always important to see how the company, U Labs itself, reacts. It says, to be honest, they should have seen this coming and should have been prepared better for it all. To me, it feels they are pointing their fingers to Ethereum rather than looking at themselves. So Yuga Labs, on that day, they actually tweeted that they were kind of saying that they need to move to another migrate to another blockchain because Ethereum isn't working well. That they didn't expect it to be this big, and that's you can read it. I'm gonna link this Twitter thread in the description. At the end of the day, the people lost today. The people that wanted to mint, people put off their KYC, bought Ape, couldn't afford to mint it because of gas in Ethereum. Well, yes. The whole point of doing a public mint was to expand the ecosystem to people who couldn't afford a Bored Ape or a Mutant Ape. So since those are so expensive, they kind of wanted to expand the ecosystem to the public, having something more affordable. So yes, I agree with that. There were people who couldn't get in, but at the same time, I think it was to be expected. Why? Because there's a lot of people trying to flip NFTs over there, and people who have a lot of money out there who will just buy first and then resell it. So on that side, I think it was to be expected. It says not only did they lose the ability to mint their land, they also saw ApeCoin go down from 25 to 17. I don't know what he's trying to say here with this part right here, that they saw their Ape go from 25 to 17. I mean, if you KYC, you pretty much bought Ape as well, because you were already into the theory that the lands was gonna be sold in Ape, and I think they actually say it, that all their projects are going to be sold in Ape. So if that's the case, you should have been buying around $7, $10, maybe even $13, not $17. So if it went from $25 to 17 and you bought before when it was $7, $10, I don't know, your value hasn't gone down that much. I don't think you should have been buying at 25 when we all knew it went that high because of the hype of the other Silent. So on that part, if you got wrecked there, I think that's kind of on you. Something that also worries me is the fact that U Labs decided that their full sell decided to do their full sell in Ape. Even though it's locked up for quite some time, one day they will have to start selling, which will create sell to pressure. Okay. That's a good point, I guess. Um, what else he has here? I rather would have seen a combination of both, where people could decide themselves if they wanted to pay Ape or ETH. I kind of agree on this because there's a secondary sales market right now on OpenSea, and you can buy Otherdeed with Ethereum or Ape. So if they wanted to keep the value of Ape high, they should have done the secondary sales in Ape only. So I would agree with that. And he says, I think Bored Ape Wood said it well. There are many people that were so excited to join the Yuga ecosystem today and prepare as good as they could, and in the end, they got nothing. Well, I in that part, I still think that if you prepare good, you should have known that there was gonna be a gas war. And another one I came across and validates my earlier point on pointing fingers to ETH. They could have done a better way to with their contract and prevented a lot of ETH loss in gas. That's pretty true. They could have done a better job on that. So the drama, basically, a recap of it, that was that a bunch of money was lost just in transaction fees, which they say that they are going to refund those who lost money, um, those whose transactions failed. So if your transaction failed, you couldn't claim Otherdeed, then they are going to refund you that ETH. Um, so on that point, I think they're doing good, and a lot of people got wrecked by gas cost. Not being able to mean losing money because of decline in Ape. And this one I don't agree much on the decline of Ape, because why, if you like the project, why would you wait till the last minute till Ape is $27 to buy it and then go buy the land? So that part, I don't agree with it. So that's pretty much what the drama was. Um, on the date of the drop, uh, I did see the Otherdeeds go up to 8 Ethereum. So even if people lost money on gas fees, if they were able to mint, and even if they spent a lot on gas fees, pre-reveal they were selling for a lot of money. So they still would have made money if they were in it just for the flip. Um, and so that's pretty much it on the drama. I'm gonna go back to the website and claim. Okay, so I'm gonna connect. Okay. Alright, so I'll select all. Let me just. I forgot I need to unlock my ledger. So claim 2 Otherdeeds. It's gonna cost me $80 in gas fees. So I'm claiming right now. Let's see what I get. Hopefully I can get a quota, which I don't expect it because I haven't been that lucky with my claims. This is taking a while. Because I do have enough to cover the gas. Right, so just keep waiting. Right, so while I'm waiting, let's just look at the floor price for this. Floor is 3.6, and people are offering like, what's the minimum offering on some of these? $7,000. Yeah, that's pretty good. $7,000, no resource, no artifact. Has a resource here. That's one resource and no quota. So from 4 possible resources, it only has 1 and no artifact and no artifact and no quota. $7,000. And then that's the tier 1 land, the infinite expanse. Alright, it says claimed. Let's click on it. It's not doing anything. I guess I'm gonna have to go to my wallet here. Alright. So 8510, this is the one I got for my Bored Ape. Didn't get a quota. I got 2 resources. I got spikeweed and Bomium. I don't know what that is. Biogenic swamp. Okay, it's good enough. The tier of my resources is 1. Tier environment of 1. Okay. Alright, let's see the other one that I got from the mutant. Here I only got 1 resource. So yeah, I didn't get a quota as expected, but the claiming wasn't that expensive. It was about $80 in Ethereum to claim these 2 lands that if I want to sell, they could sell for, well, if once I start getting offers, the minimum will be 7,000. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about this drop, if you were able to mint or if you're buying on the secondary market. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, bye.